It's hardly the holidays without cookies, is it? Crinkle cookies are a chewy and chocolatey, but they are covered with powdered sugar and have lots of beautiful cracks in them that just makes them really enticing. Welcome to Ridgehaven Homestead. From the mountains of Upper East Tennessee, we share snippets of our off-grid life, cabin build, and garden blessings. Pour yourself a cup of tea, sit back, and take a peek into our off-grid home and family. First, we're starting out with vegan chocolate crinkle cookies. I got this recipe off of the internet, and these are cookies that I've loved for a long time. So this is actually a recipe originally from Andrew Bernard. So let's get started. Really take simple ingredients. All we are going to need is sugar, and we are going to need canola oil. We actually don't have canola oil, so I am using sunflower oil, dairy-free milk, vanilla, flour, cocoa, baking powder, baking soda, salt, and powdered sugar for coating the cookies. So we have actually already preheated our oven to 300 degrees, and then we're going to put parchment paper on a baking sheet. I am using a glass baking pan for this. And for this recipe, I decided to double it so that that I have enough to share, and then we have enough to make it to Christmas, because I know my guys and they're going to want to eat them now. So let's get our parchment paper and line our baking pan. Next thing we are going to do is we're going to whisk together the sugar, oil, milk, and vanilla until smooth. Okay, so I told you I'm doubling this recipe. So we're going to use, the recipe calls for 1 cup of sugar, so we're doubling it. We're adding 2 cups of sugar. And I have the Morena sugar, Morena. I generally get this at Walmart, is the natural unbleached sugar, just evaporated cane crystals. And because of that, it tends to clump up a little bit. Get the clumps out. Okay, I'm just going to tell you the recipe that is doubled. So cut it in half if you don't want to double it. So in my recipe, I'm putting 1 cup of oil. I'm using sunflower oil. I've never made these kind of cookies before. I have always wanted to try them. I thought they would actually be complicated, but it looks like the ingredients are so simple. So I should have tried it a long time ago. Okay, we have the oil. Next, we are going to add 4 tablespoons of dairy-free milk. And because these are cookies and they can be rich, I am using coconut milk. This is actually light coconut milk. So 4 tablespoons of that. You can use any kind of milk that you like. You can use standard milk. You can actually use almond, cashew, soy, oat, whatever kind you like to use. Okay, so we have the sugar, oil, milk, and then we are going to add vanilla, which is going to be 4 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Because this vanilla extract it says use 1/4 to 1/2 of your recipe, I'm just going to add 2 teaspoons. That'll be half. We just want to whisk it until it's nice and smooth, and that'll help the sugar to dissolve a little bit. Okay, the next thing we are going to do is add in flour, cocoa, baking powder, baking soda, and salt. For my recipe, I'm going to be using 2 cups of flour, and this is just all-purpose flour, and I am going to be sifting mine because it is a little bit clumpy. Okay, we are adding 1 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. Probably could sift this too, but I'm not going to. All right, the next thing I'm going to be adding is 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So this is my baking powder. This is Rumford's, aluminum free. And we have 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And then we have 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Then we are going to have 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay, we are going to mix all this together. Recommend stirring it with our spatula. And I was thinking that would be a good idea. Most recipes, I think, would say mix the dry ingredients. This recipe didn't say that, so I didn't do it. But I think it would have been not a bad idea to get those dry ingredients incorporated first. It's a thick mixture. It's thicker than like a brownie batter. Let's see what it's looking like. It's actually a pretty nice mixture. Okay, we have our dough mixed, incorporated well. So now we are going to just roll these in powdered sugar and make our crinkles. The recipe recommended for this amount of mixture 1 cup of powdered sugar for rolling the cookies. I'm going to put this in a bowl. Okay, the last step we are going to do is we are going to use tablespoon-sized balls and roll them in the powdered sugar and then put them in our baking sheet. According to our recipe, this should make, a standard recipe should make around 24 balls, and so this one should make about 48. Let's see how close we can get. The recommended size is to make 1 tablespoon sized balls and then roll them in the powdered sugar. I ended up making mine about twice as big, so obviously I'm not coming out with 48 of these cookies. One thing that I noticed was that when I was handling them a lot, it made the powdered sugar not stick to them very well. So they started to do better when I just would form the balls and then toss them in the powdered sugar and kind of shake it around in the bowl to get the powdered sugar to stick. Once you have all your crinkles formed, do not smash them down, but leave them as balls and put them in the oven and bake 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, I'm sure you're all wanting to know how did they turn out, and I'm pleased to tell you they turned out very good. I ended up making them way bigger than recommended, and I think I could have made them the actual size. Mine, when I made my balls, were about the size of walnuts because that's what the cookies usually look like to me. So I should have made them more the size of half of a walnut, and then I would have gotten enough. I got 30 cookies out of this, and let me tell you, they are mighty good, and they are actually mighty sweet. So we limited this to 1 per person because they are so sweet and they are a little bit bigger than the usual Crinkles. So I'm putting the rest away now for Christmas, which is in just a few days. They're really good. We each had 1. Everybody gave their 2 thumbs up, and I'll just have to say it was a successful recipe. And so why don't you stick around? The next recipe that I'm going to make really soon is going to be a vegan gingerbread cookie, which I'm really looking forward to. And so stick around and watch for the next video, which will be coming out soon. Be safe, be well, and God bless you, and enjoy your Christmas Crinkles.